The word hate is a strong verb to use when talking about my beloved Streetfighter V2. So maybe I should say dislike. Because no matter how perfect a bike is when you're buying it, when the in-love romance has fallen down to a normal level, there will be some things that you maybe miss from previous bike or is simply just different. So use this video to get some inside knowledge of this bike from an owner that the dealership may not tell you. So the first thing that started to nag me with my Streetfighter was the missing fuel gauge. I'm like, we're in 2023. How the hell can a new motorcycle not have a fuel gauge? How do you actually say that? Fuel gauge, gauge. I don't know, I'm saying gauge, fuel gauge. I know it's not a big of a deal, and especially not something that would have changed my mind to choose another bike instead of the Streetfighter. But really? And I know I just can't keep track of my kilometers while riding, but I almost all the time forget to reset my trip indicator, and it's not just convenient. Secondly is changing the rear disc or anything that has something to do with the rear wheel, except of taking off the rear wheel, which is probably the fastest you can do on any motorcycle. If you saw my previous video where I'm changing my rotors to the high performance GALFER discs instead, you could see that it takes 12 different steps until you have the unit where the brake disc is on. That is just a huge headache. But there is a quick fix for that, and take your bike to a dealership or a workshop instead. Job done, but I guess that is the compromise you have to have when riding with a single-sided swing arm and the look that the Ducati gives you. But 12 steps. So this is probably what I miss the most when talking about my Streetfighter V2. When you have had cruise control for the first time, it's like the holy grail. It's the tool that you didn't know you needed. And once you have had it, you can't live without it. I miss cruise control every single day. And in my humble and personal opinion, a motorcycle in this price category, a motorcycle should have cruise control. It really should. Damn, I miss that. The fourth thing we have to address is that accessories is ridiculously expensive. Just because the part has to go on a Ducati, then the price rises. But then again, the part you get is also in a very high quality. And if you don't want to spend any more money, just keep it stock. But we all know how hard that can be when searching on the World Wide Web for inspiration. And then the last thing we have to cover is actually not something I dislike about the Ducati Streetfighter V2, but I do read a lot about it on all types of Streetfighter V2 forums. And then I just thought that this would be nice to cover in this video so you could see both sides of it. But we do live in 2023, and there has never been more laws about emission worldwide. So motorcycles like this comes with catalyst and etc, etc. Mostly that is taking a toll on the performance side of the engine, but it is extremely noticeable on especially V2 engines. I don't know technically why it is like this, but there's a easy fix. And the problem is that when the motorcycle is cold, the engine is running not that smooth. And some people would say, not me, but there are some people that means that the Streetfighter V2 doesn't have a straight performance curve. And personally, I don't give this as much attention as some other people does, because I have owned an Indian FTR 1200 where these issues were huge and very, very noticeable. And the easy fix is to get a tune, then the problem is fixed. And again, I really, really like when you're surpassing 6,000 RPM, how the whole motorcycle changes. It is insane to feel. So that was it. And no, I don't hate anything about my Streetfighter V2 except of it doesn't have cruise control. I miss that very much. But again, use this as an opportunity to get some insight on how it is to own a Streetfighter V2. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you aren't already, and if you're new here, welcome. It is so nice to meet you. See you in the next one, folks.